Hello, welcome to my 21st video. Now, these are the series of videos that I bring forth on my YouTube channel, Rashmi Ghosh 1967, and they talk about ancient Indian art, traditions, culture, and science, and literature, and surgery, many of which knowledge have been lost to the modern day world. Now, it is rightly said that just like the flower lotus, we too have the ability to rise from the mud, bloom out of the darkness, and radiate into the world. Another quote: a nightingale does not stop singing its beautiful song at the intrusion of an annoying woodpecker. So, whenever you doubt your own self worth, remember the lotus flower. Even though it plunges to life from beneath the mud, it does not allow the dirt that surrounds it to affect its growth or beauty. So, today my topic for discussion is the significance and symbolism of the lotus in Indian art. Now, undoubtedly, lotus flowers are beautiful, that are commonly associated with purity, inner strength, and tranquility. But its symbolism extends beyond that. The flower plays a symbolic role in various religions like Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. Given its deep symbolic meaning and connection to religion, the lotus flower is considered as one of the most sacred flowers. Now, lotus has many names in Sanskrit, the ancient Indian language, and some of these names which are still given to newborn babies born to Indian parents. Some of which come to my mind are Aapja, Bisaja, Tayoja, Nirja, Saroja, Mrinalini, Ambuja, Pankaja, Kunala, Kamala, Kumuda, Nalini, Padma, Ravipriya, and Sujala. What beautiful names coming from a beautiful flower. Now, references to lotus in Hinduism can be traced back to 1400 BC through Vedic texts that depict Hindu gods holding or standing on lotuses. Early references can also be found in the Buddhist religion, and the Buddha is often depicted sitting on a lotus flower. Hindu gods are depicted as either standing or sitting on a bloom lotus flower. So, what is the significance, I wondered, of lotus in Indian culture and tradition? Now, Mahavishnu, as per our Puranas, is seen holding a lotus flower in his hand. According to Indian philosophy, lotus is a symbol of creation. The lotus plant sprung from the navel of the Mahavishnu, and it gave birth to Brahma, the creator, who in then created this entire universe. The meanings behind the flower relate to its symbolism of the lotus growing out of muddy waters. The flower's roots anchor in the mud, but the flower rises above the mucky environment, blossoming open one petal at a time, and based on these unique growing conditions in Indian art, it has come to have many a symbolic meaning. The lotus represents spiritual enlightenment as it grows in the muddy water, but the lotus rises above all to bloom in beauty. This flower symbolizes detachment, as a lotus detaches itself from the mud and filth. This symbolism serves as a reminder to separate ourselves from things that could sully our soul and focus on things which matter, such as wisdom, relationship, and spiritual enlightenment. The lotus flower blooms slowly, one petal at a time, which is similar to the gradual steps required to reach spiritual enlightenment. Now, in one of my paintings, this is based on the Lord Srinathji of Nathdwara, a place near Udaipur in Rajasthan. We had gone there to visit, and I love the temple, and I have devoted one of my painting to Srinathji. Now, here in this painting, you can see the lotus in the flowers in the pond here, and this symbolizes purity and love that we have for Srinathji over here. So, I studied deeply into the symbolism of lotus in Indian art and in Indian paintings, whether miniature ones or frescoes. The flowers of the river or a pond are always indicated by lotus flowers and their broad leaves floating on surfaces. And I remember as a child, we used to be very happily drawing our lotus flowers because we had a pond near our school where lotus was blooming in plenty. And the vast repertoire of Indian ornamental motifs among the symbols and devices that recur in traditional art and architecture, the lotus occupies pride of place. Unlike Western art, in which great emphasis is laid on photographic realism and the naturalistic treatment of human and animal forms, the main concerns in Indian art are profoundly spiritual and religious. Each and every object portrayed in Indian art has a religio spiritual symbol and a symbolic significance. Whether white, blue, rose pink, or white and pink, its petals of a rose evoke the sentiment of purity in everybody's mind. According to Hindu philosophy, human beings ought to live like a lotus flower in this willy, unscrupulous world, completely detached and pure hearted and untouched by evil forces. One illustration of such symbolism can be seen on the ceiling of Chamunda Devi temple of Chamba at Himachal Pradesh. This temple was built in the 17th century current era and has a wooden lantern ceiling relieved with lotus flowers and an immense lotus rosette in the center. In the world-renowned Ajanta caves frescoes, the lotus born is an alluring part of the landscape, and it continued to do so in the subsequent centuries till the dawn of the 20th century. From the period of Ajanta frescoes, 2nd century before Christ era, to approximately 7th century current era onwards, the ceilings are painted with concentric circles enclosing a variety of motifs. The lotus flower buds and petals have been painted in mind-baffling diversity. Each one is different from the other, far more delicate and impressive. The tradition of chiseling a large lotus rosette in full bloom, covered in bold relief with broad petals spread out or at times curling in different great delicacy and fineness, is very ancient art in India. Such ceilings have survived in the rock-cut cave shrines at Ellora in Maharashtra from the 7th century, and current era, timber and monolithic temples in Himachal Pradesh, in Baramur and Chhatrai in Champa, and the Masur in Kangra district of Himachal Pradesh. All the schools of miniature painting that flourishes in the royal courts all over India, more specifically in Rajasthan and western Himalayas, the latter popularly known as a Pahari school, feature the riverfront as well as a lotus pond in this manner. In Pahari miniature schools, not only Lord Krishna but all the Hindu deities are featured as sporting pinnacle crowns surmounted by lotus buds. In both the timber and lithic temples almost all over India, lotus rosette apart, there are bands of exquisitely carved lotus petals running through the external and internal walls, as also ceilings separating panels relieved with diverse episodes from the legends pertaining to the deities. The doors display an immense lotus rosette chisel all over the surface. The lotus flower is a beautiful, powerful symbol, while the symbolism of lotus is rooted in several religions. The symbol has transcended this to become universal and can be sported by anybody, regardless of their religious affiliation. After all, no one can lay claim to the lotus, one of the most beautiful and symbolically rich flowers of the natural world. Hence, it is rightly said that the flowers that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful flower of all. So, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for the algorithm and press the bell icon for new notifications from my channel. Thank you so much.